met Blake. I worked with her husband Ryan several years ago, so I met Blake a few times through Ryan on that film.
Got it.
And and thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Yeah.
Blake Lively's flawless reputation is starting to crumble. For years, she's been the darling of Hollywood, but let's face it, this was classic nepotism at work.
I loved you part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got on a few of them.
25 behind the scenes, Blake has always clashed with her co-stars, constantly creating drama and fighting to steal the spotlight.
I think I'm just brunette because of the books.
And everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway.
Now Blake has finally revealed her true colors by dragging Justin Baldoni into this mess, and let's just say the receipts are stacking up quickly. Her rap sheet might just be longer than her acting career, and every time her toxic side threatened to come out, someone, whether it was her parents, Ryan Reynolds, or her powerful connections, was there to bury the truth. Well, not anymore. Let's dive into all the celebrities who saw through her act long before the rest of us caught on. And if there's one celebrity who knows just how messy Blake Lively can be, it's Scarlett Johansson. Let's face it, Scarlett's marriage to Ryan Reynolds didn't just end, it was practically destroyed by Blake. The rumors about Blake and Ryan's relationship have been circulating for years, and if anyone knows the truth, it's probably Scarlett. Before Blake, there was Scarlett. Scarlett and Ryan seemed like the perfect couple when they tied the knot in 2008, but by 2010, things had gone south. Interestingly, 2010 also happened to be the year Blake and Ryan filmed Green Lantern together. Observers couldn't help but notice the undeniable spark between them, lots of flirting, giggling, and more than a little physical contact. Both were in relationships at the time, Blake with Penn Badgley and Ryan still married to Scarlett. By the time the Green Lantern press tour came around, it was clear something was up, even though Blake and Ryan insisted they were just friends. Yet, they spent an awfully suspicious amount of time alone together.
Points next to her. You go up. No, that's all you get today, though. That's it.
I know, I can't believe you.
That's it. No. Just that. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Line, Ryan himself even admitted that he knew he'd crossed a line. And wouldn't you know it, just 3 months after that press tour, Blake suddenly dumped Penn, and Ryan announced his split from Scarlett in the very same month. Coincidence? Hollywood doesn't believe in coincidences. Believe in coincidence. Scarlett never directly called Blake a homewrecker, but she's definitely dropped some hints. In one interview, she talked about how difficult it is to be with a fellow actor, saying the logistics of being with someone in the same career can be challenging, especially when one person's career is rising faster than the others. She even admitted that career competition can destroy relationships, which, let's be real, sounds exactly like what went down between her and Ryan. And this isn't just speculation. A source once revealed that Ryan was a bit of a control freak. When he wanted Scarlett there, he expected her to drop everything and come running. And if you've been following the It Ends With Us drama, where Ryan allegedly rewrote parts of the script, you know this guy loves having the final say in his partner's career. While Blake and Ryan want to play it off like their romance started after their breakups, the timeline definitely says otherwise.
After Green Lantern had come and gone and all that stuff, and we were both single, we went on a double date with she was on a date with another guy and I was on a date with another girl. And that was the most awkward date for their respective partners because we were just like fireworks coming across.
8 sources told the Daily Mail that Reynolds and Lively's connection began while filming Green Lantern. A server reportedly caught the co-stars getting cozy over dinner just weeks before he and Johansson split. It was just the two of them laughing and flirting, the spy said. It looked like a date. If you didn't know who they were, you'd definitely think they were a couple. In December 2010, just weeks after Ryan's split was announced, a writer for Glamour and Vice, Kat Marnell, called them out in a now-deleted tweet saying, oh, fun fact, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds hooked up when R was still married to Scar Joe and holed up in a NOLA hotel room during Green Lantern. A U.S. Weekly had discovered this too, and their beauty editor would gossip about how Blake and Ryan's team shut down the story. Oh, and guess where Green Lantern was filmed? New Orleans. So, yeah, the math is adding up. Nepo baby privileges at its finest. And Scarlett even hinted that Ryan didn't have time to invest in their family. We have no time for dates, we work and then go home, and I just stare at the wall for a few hours before I go to sleep. It's hard to balance it all, but it's worth it. Well, now we know exactly where Ryan's time allegedly went. While Scarlett has never publicly called out Blake, Hollywood insiders say there's been lingering tension for years. The two actresses intentionally avoid each other, never attending the same events or even acknowledging each other's existence. Honestly, that speaks volumes. But this isn't the only time Blake stirred up drama in Hollywood. Scarlett isn't the only celebrity with issues with her. Let's talk about someone else who's warned us about Blake Lively, Taylor Swift. Yes, you read that right. Now that the tides of the Mean Girls are shifting against them, Taylor has publicly stepped back from the drama to protect her own reputation. A bombshell article just dropped in the Daily Mail, written by none other than James Fushka, a top entertainment writer. Fushka doesn't just write for anyone.
Protect Taylor Swift's reputation by any means necessary, and they fold, okay? The editors, the writers, journalists, when she says, put something in the mail, it gets done. And I'm not saying that part allegedly. That is a fickety fact.
These are often carefully crafted with PR teams strategically planting stories to shape public perception, and this one feels particularly loaded. According to Fushka, Taylor Swift is reportedly distancing herself from Blake Lively. She allegedly feels that Blake used her as an intimidation tactic in a lawsuit Blake's involved in with Justin Baldoni, something Taylor reportedly never wanted any part of.
Swift is taking a step back from her friendship with Blake Lively after feeling like she was used as an intimidation tactic by the actress in a lawsuit that she never wanted to be embroiled in.
That's not just a little distance, it's a full-on retreat. Think about it. Taylor Swift, the queen of a carefully crafted image, doesn't just distance herself from a friend for no reason. This suggests something huge is about to unfold, something that made Taylor think, this could harm my brand long term. But what exactly happened? That's the million-dollar question. Her friends also think Blake's antics, like texting Justin Baldoni, were unnecessary and uncool. It seemed like she was using Taylor as an intimidation tactic. While the Daily Mail article gives us a peek into the situation, I'm convinced there's more to this story. Was Taylor feeling used as a pawn in a power play? Did Blake try to leverage their friendship to influence the lawsuit? Did Taylor feel pressured to take a side she wasn't comfortable with? All these possibilities are on the table. For years, rumors have circulated that Blake Lively is the quintessential Big B to her co-stars, always trying to outshine them and making their on-set experience a nightmare. Anna Kendrick felt the full brunt of this when they teamed up for a simple favor. Linus said, everyone expected perfect on-screen chemistry, but behind the scenes, it was a mess. Sources from Lionsgate say the tension between Anna and Blake was so bad that the studio had to intervene, forcing them to fake their friendship. One producer even called the set unbearable because of constant conflict. The root of the issue, Blake's obsession with outshining Anna. In response, Anna demanded more promotion and even insisted that her cleavage be photoshopped larger than Blake's on the movie poster because apparently the battle wasn't just about screen time but about who looked better doing it. By the end of filming, the two weren't even speaking. And things didn't improve after the cameras stopped rolling. During the press tour, the tension was palpable. Anna made a shady comment in an interview saying, I met Blake when I worked with her husband, Ryan, several years ago and thought she seemed nice. She tried to pass it off as a joke, but considering the context, didn't sound like one. In a BuzzFeed interview, Anna went on to admit, that was the day I decided I hated you. We were all talking trash about you. As for Henry Golding, he was caught in the middle of all the drama. While he never directly called out Blake, his interview spoke volumes. Henry confessed to feeling extremely nervous working with Blake and Anna, mentioning how hard it was to escape the tension on set. When asked about the rumored feud between the two actresses, he didn't confidently shut it down. Instead, he looked uncomfortably evasive, giving an answer so awkward that it raised eyebrows. It was clear he saw something on set that made him hesitant to speak out. He later hinted that he had muted Blake on Instagram. Can you imagine filming a sequel with someone you can't even stand to follow online? If there's one thing Blake can't stand, it's sharing the spotlight. We saw this firsthand during the Gossip Girl press tours. From the get-go, Blake made it clear she wanted to be the center of attention. not because of her acting chops, but because she's a full-fledged Nepo baby who was handed opportunities on a silver platter. And when she realized she wasn't the only star of the show, things got messy. Meet Leighton Meester, the actress who actually worked her way up in the industry and earned the love of both fans and critics. Blake Lively, however, couldn't stand it when someone else got as much attention as she did. I mean, let's be honest, she's the epitome of a Nepo baby. And when Leighton became a fan favorite, Blake's jealousy became crystal clear. During the Gossip Girl press tours, Blake made it her mission to steal the spotlight, often at the expense of Leighton. At first, it seemed like playful banter, but over time, those jokes turned meaner. One infamous moment, Blake called her co-stars a monkeys, and the entire room had to awkwardly laugh it off. "I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey," she said. It didn't stop there, though. Behind the scenes, rumors spread that Blake hated it when Leighton got attention, especially when Leighton's wardrobe budget was increased. Blake absolutely lost it. Despite already having a wardrobe full of designer clothes, she seemed to think that because she had the most success outside of Gossip Girl, she should automatically be the main focus. Even Gossip Girl executive producer Joshua Safran confirmed that Blake and Leighton weren't friends. He said, "Blake and Leighton were not friends. They were friendly, but they did not like Serena and Blair. And let's not forget about Penn Badgley. Penn and Blake were in a relationship while filming Gossip Girl, but after their breakup, Penn spiraled." He later revealed that filming with Blake as his ex was an endurance test. While people might have thought it was just an awkward breakup, in hindsight, it's clear Penn was trying to warn us all along. But Blake? She didn't care. She was too busy making herself look good. She even brought up stories from their relationship, always painting herself in a better light. Even Penn's wife confirmed the toll the relationship took on him. When she met him, he was completely lost, and he described his life after Gossip Girl as a trash bag full of broken pieces. If Penn and Leighton both had nothing but exhausting experiences working with Blake, what does that tell you? Maybe they weren't just shading her, they were trying to warn us. Armie Hammer tried to keep it diplomatic, but his awkward laugh and carefully chosen words made it clear that working with Blake was a nightmare. When asked about the biggest diva on set, he didn't name names, but he admitted the experience was so tough, he didn't even finish filming all of his episodes. "Let me just say that was a tough show to film," he said. "I didn't end up actually filming all of the episodes I was supposed to because it was such a tough film." When Andy Cohen pressed him further, Armie folded instantly. The second Blake's name came up, Chelsea Handler jumped in with, "Sounds like she was the problem," and Andy agreed. Armie tried to backtrack, but the damage was done. No one dodges a question like that unless there's something to hide. And let's not forget the drama between Blake and her co-star Justin Baldoni. The two reportedly hate each other, and leaks are bringing attention to this rift. TMZ reported that Blake told people there were multiple reasons Justin made her feel uncomfortable. Oh, but here's where it gets juicy. Blake's fans like to portray her as a sweet, wholesome Hollywood darling, but the receipts are piling up, and this time, they're coming from the journalists who've dealt with her behind the scenes. Kirsty Fla, a seasoned Norwegian journalist, sat down with Blake and Parker Posey for a promo interview. Instead of professionalism, she got high school mean girl treatment. Fla congratulated Blake on her pregnancy, which Blake had publicly announced. Instead of simply saying, "Thank you," Blake sarcastically remarked, "First of all, congrats on your little bump. Congrats on your little bump." What about my bump? There was no bump. Blake made a joke about a non-existent pregnancy to a journalist who had struggled to conceive. That's not girl boss energy. That's just cruel. And it didn't stop there. Throughout the interview, Blake ignored Kirsty, turned her body away, and acted like she wasn't even there. It was so bad that Kirsty later admitted it almost made her quit journalism. "Working in this industry, I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes," she said, before revealing that another journalist messaged her years later, sharing a similar experience with Blake. That journalist's story was so familiar it made Kirsty feel sick to her stomach. Why is this interview resurfacing now, 8 years later? Well, Kirsty kept quiet for years, but when another journalist shared a nearly identical story, she couldn't stay silent any longer. "It's such bully behavior," she said. "It made me want to vomit." And now that the truth is coming out, the question remains, with all these receipts piling up, is Blake Lively's sweetheart persona just a well-polished Hollywood illusion? From co-stars to journalists, the people who've worked with her aren't exactly singing her praises. Did these celebrities warn us about Blake all along, or is this just another case of Hollywood drama? With the truth coming to light, it's clear that maybe, just maybe, we've all been fooled. So, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest tea.